This video is brought to you by Squarespace.
So if you guys know, I do have a second channel, and very recently my entire channel was actually completely demonetized. And the reason is quite interesting, because YouTube assumed I was an AI channel, or, a channel that didn't have a human host, I guess. I ended up having to create a video just proving that, I'm a person explaining who I am, what I do and stuff, and I eventually did get the monetization back. So it got me thinking a little bit about AI. Now, obviously, AI has been a huge talking point as of late because of the technology, and it's gradually becoming more and more advanced, especially when it comes to the new software called Sora. And if you guys don't know, Sora is a text-to-video AI that generates videos from a text prompt, and whenever ChatGPT released a bunch of footage of these Sora videos, it started to get a little bit concerning. Now, don't get me wrong, I feel like if you look at these enough, it's, you can kind of see that they're definitely AI, but the thing is, at a glance, it looks pretty real. Now, personally, my stance on AI is I don't really like it. I feel like it's absolutely horrible for creatives. Yes, it can be used as a tool, but we'll get to that stuff later. Because when it comes to art, animation, content creation, and music, it can become a big problem. But the main reason I wanted to make this video is it did technically affect me on a personal level whenever, YouTube demonetized my entire channel believing I'm AI. I mean, it is refreshing knowing that at least YouTube has somewhat of a system in place to combat these type of channels, but the fact that YouTubers actually have to worry about something like that is pretty concerning, especially when that channel, my face is on every single video, and it's pretty blatantly obvious that I'm an actual person. So it doesn't really make any sense why my channel got flagged, and there's also other YouTubers who got demonetized as well, thinking that their channel was AI, especially when there are actual AI channels out there that are a genuine problem. I've actually mentioned movie recap channels in the past before, which are technically AI channels. And if you guys don't know movie recap channels, basically what they do, they take a movie, go to ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT to make a script about said movie, just explaining the plot, giving a plot summary. They plop that in a text-to-speech, and then they throw the movie into an AI editor, which basically just chops the movie up into chunks, plop it together, throw it on a channel, millions of views. And I'm not exaggerating here when I say millions of views. Like, they post videos every single day, and it does really well. And not even to mention their thumbnails are completely made by AI. Like, they just put a random girl with tits in the thumbnail just, to boost clicks. They take a picture from the movie Zathura and just give their sister huge tits. Like, I don't understand this shit. So yeah, me as a channel who makes movie reviews and spends days upon days working on scripting, writing, editing, all this different stuff, manually, I guess we could say, it is a little bit demotivating when I see a channel that's basically just AI make millions upon millions of views for the same type of stuff that I do. But I do want to clarify, not all movie recap channels. There are movie recap channels that are actual people. They even show their face here and there. I'm not trying to shit talk them. I mean, they could still technically be using ChatGPT, but I digress. All I'm trying to say here is it makes creators feel useless. That's what AI does. Almost as if we are gradually going to get pushed out of the way, as in the future content creators will become obsolete in a way, as there will be such advances in AI, big corporations will take advantage of that and just pump out content left and right that everybody wants and needs. And then it begs that question, are creators even gonna be necessary anymore in the future? And that is a terrifying question that is kind of a viable question. But before that, let's talk about something that isn't so terrifying. Since we are in a world that is dominated by the internet, websites are a very important thing. And there is a place you can go that makes building a website as simple as a few clicks, and I'm talking about Squarespace. Now, if you guys don't know Squarespace, it is an incredible website builder that takes all the confusion and pain out of creating and building a website. No longer do you have to hire someone or pay someone to create a website for you. You have complete control of your website, because making a website is important for every walk of life, whether that be someone who's starting a business. Maybe you want to have a place to put all of your content. Maybe you're a content creator. Maybe you're a musician. Maybe you're trying to sell a product, or maybe you want to make a podcast. There are so many different things you could use websites for. And Squarespace offers everything in one simple location. With Squarespace, you have an amazing amount of pre-built websites that you can choose from, and you can arrange it in a way that you so like. And everything about that website is customizable. You can add things such as text, video, photos, audio, products, newsletter signups, appointments, calendars, tour dates, menus, and the list goes on and on of the vast amount of things that you can add to this website. And it also has fantastic podcast support because, I mean, come on, everybody is a podcast at this point, so it's perfect for you. So if you are someone who is looking to create a website, look no further. Head to Squarespace. You can go to squarespace.com and get your free trial. And when you are ready to launch that sexy website, you can go to squarespace.com/bionicpig and get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. All right, so before we move on in this video, I want to make a point here. I want to focus more on the creative side of things when I'm talking about AI here and not necessarily the practical stuff, because I definitely feel like AI has a lot of use when it comes to practical things. And I feel like I don't know enough about the practical uses of AI to really say much on it. You know, I'm like a creative person. I'm a content creator. I'm a musician, so I don't really know too much about that stuff. And actually, some creatives are on the side of AI because they believe that creatives can use this as a tool, which sure, it definitely can be used as a tool in a more positive way that can kind of speed up the process. But personally, I feel like that's actually really bad, especially for creatives. Because in my opinion, that kind of takes the creativity out of creating something. For example, say you want to come up with a movie idea, say you come up with a book idea or maybe a video idea. You just type in, hey, ChatGPT, give me some ideas for movies, of videos or books or blah, blah, blah. And it'll give you a plot summary to a book, a movie, or whatever, and just create something brand new for you to go off of. And I personally feel like that's not good because it stops people from actually coming up with ideas. It stops people from brainstorming. It stops people from thinking because you're taking that brainstorm process out of the creative process and just typing in, hey, oh, I can't think of an idea. Let's just Google one. Oh, I can't think of an idea. Let's just ask ChatGPT to give me one for free. But not even that. Say you're doing a video on a specific topic. You go to ChatGPT, ask for a script. You take it and just summarize it in your own style. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like for some content, like maybe tutorial content or something like that, I feel like that works just fine. But when I feel like you're doing entertainment or reviews or something that's like opinionated, it just feels weird and strange to just ask ChatGPT to make something for you. Don't get me wrong, I feel like it can be used good in some instances, but I believe that it really does kind of siphon the creativity out of creating something. And that goes for every walk of life. If you're an animator, an artist, a musician, etc., there's so many important critical thinking steps that AI can just completely take away from. And I feel like that can stunt your creativity. So let's move on to copyright in AI. Now, if you guys aren't aware, a few months ago, I kind of went headfirst into art. I was like super into it, was drawing every day, was practicing constantly. I filled up multiple sketchbooks, working my ass off because I was super excited, learning a new thing, you know, learning art. I was watching constant videos of amazing artists, amazing YouTube artists, giving YouTube tutorials, all this different stuff. And then I fell down the rabbit hole of AI art and how horribly depressing it truly is. Because I don't think people necessarily understand how bad it actually is. Because the main reason why it's so bad is because AI art takes from loads and loads of copyrighted content on the internet. It scours the internet for all types of art, copyrighted or not, takes it and uses that to generate new art. So in turn, AI art is literally stealing people's work to create something. And sure, you can go ahead and make an excuse that, oh, that's what artists do, right? They get inspired, quote unquote, by different people's arts and then, you know, create something new from that inspiration. But this is completely different. This is just purely copying others' work and then compiling it together. There are even examples that people have shown where they try to recreate the exact art piece of an artist, and it's basically identical because it proves that they have stolen that piece of art off of the internet. There's even instances where people recreate someone else's art with AI art and then sell it as their own art, which is a horrible problem for many reasons. I mean, number one, artists already have enough trouble trying to find work. Now it's even harder, as most people will just end up going to an AI and just generate something that they want instead of just paying an artist. Hell, there are loads of companies who just use AI art in order to sell merch or some other product. Now, don't get me wrong, I feel like a lot of times you can tell the difference between AI art and real art, but that line is becoming thinner and thinner. And also, I even agree that it can be good to use AI art as a reference for practicing, for example. Because whenever you're learning art, learning with a reference is like the #1 thing to do, is taking someone else's art who is way better than you, using it as a reference, not tracing by the way, but using it as a reference in order for you to learn how they did it. I mean, I would highly prefer people to actually use real artists' art instead of AI art, but I could see how people can use that as a tool. And it doesn't stop there. We have even more copyright issues when it comes to AI, as there are loads and loads of videos on YouTube talking about how to make passive income with AI art. And these videos have millions upon millions of views. Now, I'm not going to shit talk every single one of these videos. I don't know if they're all like, negative toward creators. I don't know if they're all like, don't have integrity. There's probably some out there that do it with some morals, right? But the fact that there's just countless and countless videos of these like business YouTube channels trying to show people how to make passive income with AI art and AI animation and AI music even. Like, it's really depressing. It doesn't even stop there. There are AI websites that literally create an entire comic book for you. A comic book artist, you're gonna hate this one. There's literally a website you can go to. You can type in one prompt of a comic that you want to create, and boom, bam, there's that comic for you. Not even that. There are animation AI websites where you can go to. You can type in a prompt and it'll create an animation of what you want. I mean, sure, sometimes the animations don't turn out great, but still, again, AI is only going to get better exponentially. And I feel like people only focus on art, they only focus on animation. But boy, when it comes to music, it's getting really, really bad. Now, the positive of it, at least, is there is a law in place, or at least I believe, that about copyrighted music, like you can't use copyrighted music for AI music, but that doesn't really change anything by how good it is. Now, if you guys didn't know, I've been a musician since I was young. Like, that was actually the main thing I wanted to do in life, and then I kind of fell into doing YouTube, right? Now, if you're new to this channel, you might not realize this, but this channel actually used to be centered around music, and I kind of transitioned away from that. Like, obviously, I'm gonna come back to making music. It was just one of those things that kind of killed it for me for a little bit. Because we can go to this website called SoundDraw, for example, and boy, it'll kill your motivation if you're a musician. Now, if you guys are unaware, SoundDraw is a website that does exactly what you think. It just creates music with AI. So if I wanted to, I could go in, I'll pick my genre. Let's go with lo-fi, right? Everybody loves lo-fi. And it creates a huge list of different variations of songs. And you could choose different styles, different moods. You could change the instruments. You could fine-tune your way to creating a full lo-fi song. And you could take that lo-fi music, create an hour-long playlist of it, slap it on YouTube for free, and then make a bunch of money off of it. It's just depressing how all of this creative stuff is just becoming a factory, right? It's just becoming a conveyor belt of content. Thinking of all the work that artists, for example, musicians, animators, all of them spent years and years and years perfecting their craft, getting better, just to get beat out by an AI. It's really depressing. And not to mention, people making money off of this stuff. Artists, animators, musicians, they don't make a lot of money. So when they want to make this their job and then they see people, doing, a fraction of the work, making twice as much money, it can definitely be depressing. So I feel like I've said my piece on the creative side of AI. Now let's get to a serious problem when it comes to AI, so serious to the point where it actually made a 14-year-old girl commit suicide. So there's been this new quote-unquote trend going around where people have taken images of someone's face and then have AI generate a nude picture of that said person. And you can see how that would be a huge problem, as people have used that to cyberbully people. For example, a 14-year-old girl was cyberbullied so hard by a few boys who took a picture of her face, created nude photos of that girl, distributed those photos all over Snapchat, and that actually led to that girl committing suicide. And all of you could just say, well, I mean, it wasn't actually her, so why would she get upset? But that's the thing. AI is so advanced now, a lot of people won't be able to tell the difference, and it's just gonna get better and better, especially with young kids. And that's not the only instance. There have been countless stories of people getting cyberbullied by the same thing. People using pictures of someone's face, creating nude photos, distributing them around the school. And that leads to another obvious problem, porn. Because guess what? People can take pictures of anyone's face and create a nude photo. And you know what that means? That can be a serious problem, because there have been cases where people have been caught with AI child porn. Like, it's a problem. And you would think after all of this, a 14-year-old girl ending up killing herself, people actually trying to create child porn off of this would actually make the government do something. But no, we got to wait for our celebrities to get in trouble. That's when it's a big deal. We got to protect our billionaires, guys. And I'm, of course, talking about Taylor Swift, which is kind of like a trend that happened on Twitter recently. I just love how this huge outcry of how we need to do something about AI. It had to take a celebrity getting fake nudes of them made in order for something to happen. But long story short, there were images made of Taylor Swift, sexual nude images made of Taylor Swift. And it took the world by storm, obviously. I mean, we all know how the Swifties are. If anything happens to Taylor Swift, it's gonna blow up. It caused such a commotion that they actually are trying to pass a bill on AI currently, where they will limit the rights of people using AI, and mainly to try to protect people's civil rights within AI. I mean, it's really important to do that. As you know, AI can easily be used in an evil manner to, say, defame someone, frame someone for something, ruin someone's life completely. Maybe this will lead to more conversations about copyrighted content in the future as well. I feel like AI is moving extremely fast, and we as humans are moving extremely slow to try to put rules on it and put blockers on it and figure out what's good, what's bad, what's allowed, and what's not allowed. It's kind of just going off on its own. But unless we get some limitations on AI, I fear big business will definitely end up taking over a lot of content creation with said AI, which is kind of scary because it's going to make it so much more hard for people to become YouTubers, streamers, musicians, artists, animators, etc. But we don't really know what our future holds yet, but it is definitely scary current. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm real. I'm totally real.